Hello, everyone. We are live. Welcome. Happy Saturday, January 3rd, if you're here live with us, and happy whatever day it is if you're watching the replay.
Happy Cancer full moon.
Indeed, happy Cancer full moon. This has been an interesting one, as I feel like most of them have been recently. I feel like each time we hop on, we say, oh, this has been an interesting one. But that's the energies, right? We're constantly moving through different energies and different dynamics. And I don't know, for me, I think my personal astrology has been getting hit a lot. Mm-hmm. So let me know if you're feeling these a lot too.
We'll talk about it in the thing, but right off the bat, cardinal signs. So Aries, Libra, Capricorn, Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising. Definitely y'all are getting it a little bit more this time around than others. There's a lot of energy inside of that cardinal axis. So we'll talk about it. But yeah, Jake, you have your Libra rising. That's why you're...
Yeah, definitely
noticing that. I'm a Capricorn rising, so yeah, we have a lot that we've been going through with this one. Yeah. The portal definitely opened, I would say, like Tuesday this week. You know, there's always a few days before the moon where that energy starts coming in, where we start experiencing and living it. And yeah, it's been here for a few days.
Yeah, it definitely has. And if you don't know who we are, my name is Jake. I'm a hypnotherapist, quantum guide, and also resin art creator, which we'll share in a moment. And I'm joined by Corbin as well.
Hey, everyone. My name is Corbin. I am an astrologer. I come from more of a traditional or Hellenistic lens, looking most closely at the planets that are visible with our own eyes, but of course bringing in everybody else for whatever sort of interpretation or investigations that we want to do. I love getting into cycle work and seeing how, you know, the story of our lives unfolds through the astrology and helping folks to understand that for themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, speaking of resin art, I wanted to make sure we pulled up today my site. Our site now, because we have Pisces portals on here as well. So of course you can head on over to rayoflighthypnosis.com for info on my practice, my hypnotherapy services and all of that, as well as the bookings. If you go down here, you can see my bookings. But as you'll see in the top banner here, we are running a special because we just launched our resin art, our orgonites, and we've put them up on Pisces portals on our website here, and they are available for purchase. So if you didn't see our show from yesterday, go check that out. We did talk a little bit more about the art and what it is. We showed a bit of it. But if you go over here to the site and you go up to Pisces portals and you go to the home, you'll find some more information about what we're doing as well. Did you want to show one up close, Corbin?
Sure. I'll bring that up.
Sure. So you can see here, there's a lot of the pieces up, nice photos and descriptions there. I'll pop us down for just a moment here so you can see. This is one of them. Oh, I love this one too. The green turned out great. The adventuring tip. I believe we have dragon's blood, labradorite,
moss
agate,
aluminum metals.
Yep. So this one's a really pretty one. Definitely heart chakra centered.
Super fun.
Which is a great one for Cancer full moon, right?
You know, a lot of people were asking about like, well, how do you guys make all this? Like, what goes into it? And so for a beautiful pyramid like this, you know, we like to tell folks this is at least 4 nights of us doing different pours on this piece. Resin takes 24 hours to cure overnight, and it's always like building in layers. So that first night we would have put the point in the top and poured there. The next day, all the aluminum metals, and then Jake with a fun like combination of beautiful heart chakra stones and the fourth pour to kind of finish it out. So yeah, a lot of time, energy, and love goes into these. Like Jake said, free shipping on purchases on the site, domestically here in the US. Although we do have an international shipping offer.
We do, and
people have asked about that. So,
but yeah, you can head on over here to see all of the stuff. If you go to Pisces portals, you can explore all as well, and that'll pull up all of our pieces. You can filter by type, depending on what you're looking for. So we do have the pyramids like Corbin showed. We also have the resin skulls, which are filled with flowers, so blooms. And those actually take longer than the little pyramids do because of the flowers and the medium and how they float in the resin. And so it's really a pretty intricate process in making these. So definitely if you enjoy beautiful art, or if you like intentional pieces in your home, if you're looking for something beautiful to put on your altar or in a special corner of your space, definitely something to grab. We have some Soul Tribe in the chat. Hello, Lynn. Good to see you. Grand Rising.
Grand Rising. Thank you for always reminding me about Grand Rising, too. It's not quite a habit yet, but I do remember it a lot.
Yes. And hello, Beth. Good morning
Hello,
to
Beth.
you. Hello, Jody. So good to see you, too. I did see your message, Jody.
Ooh.
Such a fascinating dream.
Oh, the little mermaid icon.
It's the energy. It's the energy. We're in... portal is the word that popped to my head. We're in that portal energy. I feel like Cancer full moon too, like, gives me portal energy. I mean, the moon, you look at it, it is like a portal, right?
Well, and the moon sign is Cancer, so like she's exalted here. So yeah, if you feel that a little bit extra, this is the moon's moon, right? Like if the moon were to have a moon, this is the moon.
Yep, definitely. Okay, should we jump into what we're discussing today? So,
sure. Yeah.
For those of you who might not have watched a Lunar Reflection show before, or if you are new to the channel, this show is all about reflecting on what's going on in the moon, what is happening in our personal lives, what's happening with those around us, whether clients or friends or family, some of those stories that help bring the astrology to life and help us to reflect on how does the energies that we're seeing in the stars, seeing in the planets, how does that impact us in like a real lived way?
Yeah, I mean, it's always great to think about what are the multitude of ways that, the astrology could be manifesting. But once you get into that event stream, it's pretty clear what's going on. You're able to kind of pick up on some of those threads. And so that's really what this show is about, is just about like, hey, this is how we are living it. And I think that helps us to all grow in our understanding of astrology and understand that, like, it really does speak to all facets of our lives. So we like to share like the most mundane stories of things that happened at the store, because that's where you live astrology too. But sometimes it is also about this like more traumatic, shadow work that you're going through or something like that. But yeah.
There are lots of different expressions for sure. And sometimes it's the big flashy ones, and sometimes it's the very quiet, subtle ones.
The other reason why we're starting to do more of this like current show is that like there's such an importance of being in the now. There's a lot inside of like Astro News that tomorrow we'll be looking at like the next new moon. And it's like, I just want folks to be present for a moment and take the time to work with the energies while they are here. I think that's so important for us to be thinking about. And I just feel like often the day after a moon, I get emails, I see videos that are promoting, the next one. And it's like, hey, let's live this while it's here. There's stuff for us to, there's gold for us to find inside of this.
Yeah, absolutely. And definitely want to welcome Lisa to the chat. Hello, Lisa. Happy birthday, Lisa.
Solar return.
Yes, indeed. We love you so much. And we hope you had a special day and you felt all of the love, because we were definitely sending it to you. Yeah. So definitely, I think being present, we often get caught up in that forward thinking and always the next and next and next. And not that there's anything bad with future planning, and we will be talking a little bit about how that ties into the moon, right? But it's about honoring the moment you're into. And I've had it come through in a couple sessions, this kind of concept, and I've also heard plenty of other people talk about it too. But this idea of like the now is all there is. When you think about the quantum and you think about time existing in this nebulous all at once kind of thing, the now is all that you have, because that's where you're at. And so it's really about how do you utilize that to build the future that you want to tap into. Anyway, I'm getting off.
That's great. I love it. I love that a lot.
Yeah. So speaking of thinking about the future and planning and stuff like that, I mean, it's January 3rd. I feel like the kind of cliche, obvious thing that a lot of people are doing is thinking about the new year, thinking about the next year, thinking about what is coming up, what do you want to build, what are those things that you're excited to do or jump into, or maybe not excited to do. There might be some of the negative side of planning too, where you're like, oh, I don't want to do that when we could go back to, normal reality at the end of this break. But I know for us, as we've led up to this moon, we've spent a lot of time dreaming, goal setting, future planning for like, okay, what are we focused on? What are we doing to make that reality? What are we, how are we moving ahead in like a deliberate way?
Yeah. I mean, it's Capricorn season. Capricorn is like the astrological sign of like the master manifester. They're really good about taking these visions, these ideas, and bringing them into the 3D, bringing them into reality. And so, yeah, there's often this just general thing that we always do inside of Capricorn season when we have the new year and people make resolutions or reflections or other things like that. But I think this year that theme has been a little bit stronger for a lot of folks, just because we have all of the personal planets inside of Capricorn at this time. So Venus, Mars, Mercury, all those guys that are quickly moving around inside of us, helping us to make these decisions through the day. And like, am I going this way? Am I going that way? How am I working? How am I relating? And there's so much extra energy focused right now on working to make that plan to build the new thing. And so, like, yeah, I mean, it's pretty commonplace to be looking forward at this point of time. However, there is definitely something about the astrology right now that's really asking this. And the last lunar cycle, we had talked about this push towards, the end of February and the conjunction between Saturn and Neptune in Aries and that initiation that's happening there. And since Capricorn is also in this like cardinal axis, this Capricorn period of all this energy really is just like another phase pushing us into that Aries restart next year. And so, yeah, there's a lot about like the visioning and planning that we're doing right now that I think a lot of folks are getting excited about, because it's about how do I bring in and make more space for that new passion of mine, that new project, that thing that kind of came in a little bit last year, and now I'm really ready to put more energy and effort into it. I know I can hear the kitty too already.
I know. She's so funny. I tried to play with her before we jumped on.
We both did.
And pet her and give her love and attention, but she's like, I want this now. She's not the most patient girl.
The big thing to be thinking about here, of course, while the moon is in Cancer, is like making sure that everything that we are planning to do thinks about the self-care aspect, thinks about how we are nurturing what we are building. I think in previous versions of this, in places where we hadn't had soul growth, we might have, Capricorn could give way too much to work, right? Capricorn can work, and forget about Cancer, forget about feeding themselves, forget about taking care of the body. So maybe some of the plans that, you're working on making are to be more considerate about how you work and how it is for you. I think that was kind of something that like came up, like your work style was something that we kind of talked about.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I love that you're bringing this up, Lisa, because this ties into our next point for sure.
Yes. I love that too.
Yeah. So Lisa's saying passion is the theme right now. I feel that within myself.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one thing that we talked about with this moon, is the ideas of will and desire and what you're passionate about, what you want. And then how you're going about getting it, how you're going to make that happen.
Mm-hmm.
Did you want to talk about the kind of the astrology behind that before we?
Yeah. The astrology is really interesting and kind of tricky right now, and I've been talking about both Venus and Mars getting really, really close to the sun. Right now, we wouldn't be able to see them with our visible eyes, and so from an astrological lens, we can make an inference that topics that Venus influences, like love and relationships, or that Mars influences, like Lisa just mentioned, passion or our will, are also strongly being influenced at this time. And what's happening inside of this lunar cycle is essentially we have a conjunction happening in the next few days, and everyone's kind of getting new information on how to go about doing this. So new information about how to connect and new information about how to assert. And so if Lisa was saying like passion's really coming up, yes, we are being called to, like, Venus is asking you to claim what that actually is, what those passions truly are. There's perhaps some things that you haven't allowed yourself to have previously, or some things that you maybe didn't believe were worth going after. this is where things are starting to shift and change. And there would be a period now where, you know, if you're feeling drawn towards moving towards it, you should be moving towards that desire, something like that.
Yeah, yeah. This really made me reflect on um, like the idea of should, and that's been a big theme in my life about like what I should do or how I should act or how I should show up or how I should, right? I think we talk about shoulds and coulds and all that a lot, but for me, when we think about like will and desire and what do I want, how do I get it, I've been really like feeling kind of a uh, new energy behind this, like letting go of, oh, I should do this, or I need to because of someone else's expectations or what someone else wants or what I think that someone else wants, because oftentimes with should, it's a perception. Oh, well, I should do this because I think that people want me to do that. And this has definitely been a theme, like kind of reoccurring in my life. Like I've definitely dealt with this, and we'll get more into that as we go through kind of what's been coming up for us here. But that idea of like letting go of the should so that you can step more into what it is that you truly desire and using your will in a way that is helpful and productive and not like spinning you out. Because I know that when the energy is mismanaged, especially when it comes to desire, and I mean I'm an Aries Venus, and so I feel like when we talk about this, like I think about this a lot, and it's definitely been a thing that we've talked about in our relationship, the ways that wills and desires for me as an Aries Venus, I want what I want and I want it the way that I want it. And so finding ways to express that health in a healthy way so that I'm not expressing it in a way that like shuts other people down or, burns other people because I'm not managing it correctly.
Well, and this brings up, if you have a desire that's coming up, listen, generally we're being spoken to, right? By our thoughts, by the things that pop in our minds. These are messages from our guides, from source, from whoever. We don't have desires for no reason. But a lot of times we hold ourselves back from these sorts of things or have a belief that would get us in the place of thinking that it's ours to claim. And so as these things come up and you have these urges to move towards something, and maybe you don't, or have an internal struggle around that, or just figuring out how to, it's really important at this time to be examining those beliefs underneath. So this is a Cancer full moon, right? The moon is in Cancer. The second ruler of Cancer would be Jupiter. Jupiter is also in Cancer at this time and is retrograde. The retrogradation started around Thanksgiving and it goes until about March. We're really in a period of time where we are reviewing our beliefs as they're related to self-care, to nurturing. But all of these things around will and desire ultimately tie back to a belief as it relates to some of these Cancerian themes. And so, if you're struggling to find the best way forward or struggling with some topics of will and desire, we really suggest digging into what are some of those deeper beliefs. As I was struggling with some of this myself, I realized that a lot of this came from Cancer, from my mother, from the way that I was raised, from the way that love was shown and communicated to me when I was much younger. These are things that I've picked up, that I've ingrained in myself. Cancer is about how we root things inside of ourselves. And so inside of this full moon and inside of this cycle, some of those things that we're needing to release as it relates to these beliefs that no longer serve us, that maybe are holding us back from moving forward in the ways that we need to step forward into that Aries initiation of 2026. Now is the time to be kind of working on healing all of those. Again, that's such a huge Cancerian word, healing. And again, the water support continues inside of these charts. Neptune and Saturn sending beautiful trines over to Jupiter. It's almost a way of saying, like, we can create that new structure with the astrology that we see. So
I love that. I love that so much. Yeah, making sense to Jody too. Hi, Zulu. Do you want to come say hi to people? You can jump up on the table and make your presence known in more than just sound.
While we're in a little like lull break here, we'll do like a fun quick story though, because like it's Cancer, it's Cancer moon, and part of what we wanted to share were like real life stories about what's going on. So my brother didn't come home for the holidays this year. In fact, with Venus and Mars really close to the sun, I think we all had some interesting holidays where all of the connections didn't quite go the way that we thought they were going to go. Sounded like some folks stayed at home for a few things. Anyways, nonetheless, my brother was in the process of buying a new home and couldn't come home for the holidays. And really interestingly, yesterday, the day before, I don't know, like 2 days ago, I get a text message early in the morning saying, "Hey, I've changed my mind. I've withdrawn my offer." You know, he had been at this process where they had already like done the inspection and everything. And the conversation that I had with my brother, who's, you know, not as woo oriented, but he said, "I don't know, there's just something about my gut. There's just something about something didn't feel right." And I just thought to myself, yeah, that's Cancer. That's your intuition. That's, you know, that inner knowing, that the wisdom of the body, which is like amplified and exemplified by like this Cancer moon, really showed up. And I am a Cancer moon myself. My twin brother is also a Cancer moon. And I just thought, that's right, brother. Like you're coming in with that like intuitive ping at the exact right moment to like help you make that decision. And I just thought that it was really cool and beautiful. I mean, I love more and more stories about how like normies are acknowledging their intuition and their gut and going with that. But it was just really this moment of like, oh yeah, you know, the Capricorn season is a season of doing. However, Cancer wants us to take a break, to tune into our bodies, to listen to what's going on there. And, you know, and it's helping my brother make the best decision. So,
Which, yeah, speaking of dogs, because Lynn had a comment earlier about is that Sirius we're seeing close to the moon right now, and right,
yeah, Sirius is it's probably about 1 degree off of where this full moon is or isn't, if I remember correctly. Yeah, moon's at 13, Sirius is at 14. Yeah, I had messaged Lynn earlier in the week asking about stories around dogs. You know, the fixed star Sirius, which is part of like the constellation Canis Major, it's the brightest star there. And so we know that like dog fever could be a thing that's just going on, like cute stories, you know, just normal mundane things. And Lynn had shared a cute little thing about her fox, but we'll see how that continues to go or whatever. But if anyone else has dog fever, that's just like maybe this like mundane commonplace thing, because the moon right now is next to the star Sirius, which relates to our furry friends.
Yeah.
But also like connections with Sirius, you know, like in a star seed kind of way. I don't know if anyone is having like any wild, beautiful, deeply connected moments. You know, if we think about Cancer being our ancestors or the roots where we came from, you know, our connection with Sirius is definitely something that could be highlighted at this time, or something that you could like get to like this intuitive knowing about. So please, if you have any like Sirian stories, share that in the comments, because it feels very like right now. I know that usually in the middle of the summer when the sun is here, like in July, you know, it'd be a great time to like meditate and connect with Sirius or the Sirian star race. But you could also do that right now with this full moon.
I love it. Interesting weather in Vegas. Is that normal for you guys, Lisa? I mean, I know it's winter time, so you guys probably get a little bit of rain, but that seems like a lot. But yeah, interesting things going on all the time. Yeah, I think the only real dog thing that we've had is kind of the dog fever. We've had a couple instances where, you know, cute dog videos or someone sharing about their dog. It's just been like, oh, puppy, you know. I grew up with dogs, and so I definitely have fond memories. And we've been dreaming about when we have more space, bringing welcoming a furry friend with those kind of paws into our lives rather than our little kitties. As much as we love them, we're not adding another cat, at least not right now. We don't have the space. So yeah, dogs, I love that. Do you want to go here or you want to go here? 26.
Let's go.
Yeah. Another thing, well, you want to take the lead on this one, or you want to share? Well, so connections with the body and with pleasure has been something that one of the themes that we were seeing with the moon, with the astrology.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, yeah, I mean, you could change will and desire, and you could just say it a different way of, body and pleasure. We have Venus here, and she's all wrapped up in it. So yeah.
So in different ways, you might be feeling a different connection or a deeper connection, or a change in your connection to your body, to pleasure. I don't know. I was just thinking, I feel like I've been a little more active in the past couple of days than I have been. And I realized like how much more calm I am today. Like, I think having used some of my body's energy rather than, as many of us do right around vacation time, you slow down, you stop moving as much. And sure, resting is good, but sometimes your body needs to release that energy or to work through it. And so I definitely notice that for myself, but I've also heard a lot of people who are getting sick, who are taking time to slow down because their body just reached it. And I definitely have had past years where I've gotten sick at this time of year. I feel like it's kind of a common moment where the holidays happen, things get busy leading up to it, you don't slow down, and then suddenly you do, or your body notices that it's vacation time, and then you just kind of crash, right? But you also had an experience with this, right?
Yeah, I mean, admittedly, we've been on vacation for almost 2 weeks now, and it's been wonderful to have that break. Of course, we're not really on vacation. We're doing all these things for our own personal projects and stuff like that. But
you get to say goodbye to your corporate job for a little bit, and
such a blessing. But I've had a few late nights. I've had a few, emotional days where my body kind of got to overload. It takes a large toll on the physical body to process emotion. I also at one point said it reminds me of that hypnosis session where I said, it takes a lot of work to rewrite beliefs, which we're all doing right now. And if I didn't say it more directly, all of the Capricorn planets inside of this full moon are in the bounds of Jupiter. I kind of explained bounds a few weeks ago, but it's just a secondary condition that helps us to understand what's going on inside of a zodiacal sign. So when we were talking about going back and reviewing those Jupiterian beliefs, it's because everybody right now is hanging out in an area of Capricorn where we're thinking about how do we believe about what we build, or what do we believe about what we're here to create. And so, yeah, there's just a little bit of massaging that's happening inside of that. But usually Capricorn rising, bunch of Cap planets, I wake up every day and I go, go, go. I mean, that is just me. I'm a workhorse all the way through. And there was a moment where I thought, oh, I really have to stay in bed. If I don't stay in bed today, it's going to be bad tomorrow. And if I don't take care of my body today, it's going to get worse tomorrow. And there was I said to you, I was like, Jake, just feel my heart. I am so baseline wound up that I just need to take care of me. And so, one day on the couch might lead to a better, more enjoyable future. But yeah, definitely, I think the connections with the body, listening to the body being a great source. And then if you don't take care of your body, then you can't have the pleasures that come from that as well too. So yeah, this topic of pleasure, though, I think gets a lot greater In just a few days here, we have this. So on 1/6, on January 6th, 2026. Yeah, you can go ahead and pull that up. Actually, you know what though? My computer froze, so I can't animate it.
Okay.
So maybe
Never
don't
mind.
pull it up.
Okay. We're going to show you the chart, but we won't.
In three days from now, at 16 degrees of Capricorn, Venus, the Sun, and Mars will all come together for a day. So it's this like double Kazemi. It's a really big signature moment. Typically, I like to look at a Sabian symbol for like a moon, but like a moment like this is just as big as a moon. So I wanted to look to see what this was all about. And the Sabian symbol associated with this 16 Capricorn is it's essentially this idea of freeing yourself from your inhibitions. The symbol itself is like a naked woman bathing or dancing around or something like that.
Nude bathing girl.
Nude bathing girl. Thank you.
Zulu agrees.
And there's a lot inside of that moment, again, as it relates to the personal planets, Venus and Mars, you know, the divine masculine, the divine feminine. And it's about uncuffing ourselves from the ways that we've been holding ourselves back from having that thing that we find pleasurable. Like, don't get me wrong, I love taking a bath. Like, I love that. There's something so pleasurable about some of like the simple sensations for the body, right? Like warm water and relaxation. Now, inside of Capricorn, we're often kind of thinking about what are those societal structures or like the things that were imposed upon us, or maybe even like some of the conditioning that we've picked up throughout our lifetimes. And there would be a big moment here on 1/6 where we're asked to kind of turn away from some of that. Like, okay, the social norms, we're working on changing them. And there's quite a few things here that are prohibiting people from really gaining their power and stepping into their truth. And so that's what a lot of this is like culminating and leading towards, where like, you know, I just keep using the phrase like unhandcuffing yourself. If there's a desire that's been like coming up for a moment, this kind of like portal moment in time right now is a moment for you to understand that like it continues to come up because it's yours to claim, something like divinely here for you. And, you know, this moment is really about removing the barriers and figuring out how to get it in an appropriate kind of a way. So yeah, much of society forbids us in conduct, and has a bunch of unnecessary, prohibitive, and unhealthy perspectives that we do not need to hold on to. So
I was just thinking about one of the other things we were talking about around like relationship shadows. And when you talk about like freeing yourself or taking your own shackles off, I was thinking about how I've been really grappling with codependency and like this like over consideration of others, this like inability to like make my own decisions like first and then weigh in on like what other people need, is like always going externally, always like worrying about other people. And I've been working a lot on that, but you know, it's shackles that I put on myself. Like I'm the one that is in control of that. And oftentimes with that, there can be this like blaming others of like, oh, well, but it's their desires that are like at conflict. It's like, no, like you have to focus on yourself. But
and like I said at the beginning, Jake has that Libra ascendant. And so Libra, Aries, Cancer, Capricorn, this cardinal axis is really queued up right now. So if you have big placements in any four of those, you might be seeing these shadows as it's related to will, desire, and unshackling yourself. And also, hello, Mercury just swooped right in for this one. Like we haven't talked about that so explicitly here because it's not as close to the sun, but like having that conversation. You know, if Capricorn is the sign that we are master manifestors in, then when Mercury is here, what we talk about inside of Capricorn season, we are here to manifest. And so it's just really important to get it out right now. you know, I have to imagine that for a lot of you folks, if you kind of go back, this is cycle work, Corbin coming through right now, but we had that Mercury retrograde in Scorpio, from Sagittarius to Scorpio, dealing with our beliefs and then dealing with our desires. And I just really think that Mercury showing up inside of this lunar cycle is a moment that continues some of that deeper shadow work that's been going on throughout the season. So you might be able to kind of find this thread from October, November to now, as something was shown to you throughout the fall season. You probably worked on, you know, digesting it, internally processing it. It's coming out now more so that you can create a new structure with this vision.
Yeah. And I've definitely felt that for myself. Real interesting.
Side note though, like January 6th, we'll see what happens. The moon's on Trump's ascendant that day. Like there could be something around, just saying. It'll be an interesting anniversary.
Definitely. So yeah, Cancer full moon. What are you guys going through? You know, if anything that we said like hit for you or reminded you of something going on in your life, like put that in the chat, put that in the comments. Definitely like to hear.
Oh, we didn't mention the like parents kind of thing, but Cancer, your parents. Jake has just had a few clients popping up specifically around parent stuff. And it's like, of course, we just had the holidays. People checked in with family members that they hadn't seen in a while. And Cancer is about how we take care of, right? How do we nurture? How do we support? And supporting for the
looking for support for their parents, which is interesting, very in line with the energies, right? So definitely an interesting moon, interesting energies we've been going through. I don't know about you guys, let us know, because it affects us all differently, and we all go through things differently. There can be common themes, there can be, you know, more prevalent energies, but it's going to be unique to you.
Well, and you know, you had mentioned I don't really know what you had said, some of the stuff that you were working on, codependency and stuff like that. And like, yeah, that popped up for me too in quite a ways. You know, Capricorn, who am I as an individual? Cancer, who am I, like, you know, in relation to the other? Like that kind of comes through in a way. And you know, as this goes to the Jupiter thing, as I was reflecting on codependency, because I can kind of fall into more of that caretaker kind of a thing, caretaking Cancer. And it was really interesting to think about like where that came from, like how deep and how far back that went. And as I was working with some of those beliefs and traumas, again, it goes all the way back.
Sorry, guys.
It goes all the way back to like, you know, your parents or your childhood, or specifically in this situation, my mother. And it was really around, you know, centered around beliefs around love, you know, worthiness to receive love and stuff like that. So yeah, there's a lot here for you. We're being personal without being too personal.
Thank you for sharing, Lisa. Yeah, she says, my boys in their 30s have all been very caring, reaching out more than normal. So
that's beautiful.
Yeah, definitely the energy right now.
Yeah. And then I don't know. The last thing I'll say is it just still feels like the veil is really thin right now, y'all. I've been just having the wildest things coming through, especially inside of water. Every time I step into the shower or the bath, some kind of like crazy download coming through. Things are really amping up. Things feel, so let us know down in the chats. Kind of, thin for sure. Yeah. I was just taking a bath yesterday, and all of a sudden, you know, I was like, whoa. Anyways, we'll message about it.
Lisa's saying water, right?
Yeah,
I know that's a big one for you too, Lisa. You get it. Yeah, so let us know what's going on for you guys. What's been coming up, and you know, it can be still unfolding as well. You might not see the full picture yet. With any of these moments, it's always a window. It's always a range or a spectrum. So, yeah.
little bit of a shorter show today, but hey, we've been on vacay,
We have been
so
on vacay,
you know,
and I feel like we talked plenty. It's been
I think
40
we
minutes
talked a
of
lot.
talking. We did good.
Just a reminder
Yeah.
about. Here, I'll pull up if you want to pull up. Or I guess you could just show.
I can show, yeah. Reminder, guys, we have opened the portal. Go check out our show yesterday if you want to know more about our resin art. Otherwise, head on over to the website as well if you want more information. You can see we've got free shipping on the orders through Pisces portals through 119. If you just click on that deal, it'll bring you right to the Pisces portals home here.
Free shipping is automatically added for all US orders. If you need international shipping, we have that. We have an offering for that. So you'll be able to find that as you check out.
We should figure out how to.
Oh, I can move things around.
Out, yeah.
I just have to do my job after this. So
no worries. Yeah, thank you for those of you who have purchased some pieces already.
And we'll
Very
be
excited to send those out.
Little goodies.
Oh yeah, there'll be little goodies along with it. So yeah, head on over. You can check out all the pieces that we have up. If you click into them, it'll have listed what is inside of it. So this one has moonstone in it.
Perfect one to highlight for today.
Yeah, it's a great one. This one's really pretty. This is one of the medium sized skulls. And you can just see a little bit of that iridescence in there. It's a really, really beautiful piece of moonstone. And when it's submerged in the resin, you know, the light kind of enters it, kind of like water, and it just adds like such a dimension to the crystal. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay. Where's my mouse? Sorry. There we go. Oh my gosh, Lisa. Yay.
Oh,
so excited.
Thank you, Lisa. So much love.
So much love to you. Oh my gosh. The solar one. Yay. Oh my gosh. Yay. How fun. How fun.
Well, I already have your address. So yay.
Thank you, Beth. Appreciate you. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Happy moon to you. And hope that you spend some time taking care of yourself. Do something that brings you pleasure.
But then also, as you're looking forward, be thinking about making that plan that is best for both manifesting the thing you want, but also taking care of yourself. Like on any to-do list, taking care of yourself is like your number 2 right now. Just make sure that you keep that like high up there. It's really important as we step forward into 2026. This is how we do it with the best way.
Indeed. All right. Send you guys love. Let us know what's going on for you, and we'll see you all soon. All right. Bye, y'all.